Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters, is yours truly, Amar Mari. I am the founder of El Kebalan Unity Alliance, and my queen, Amani Mar, is the co-founder. And we thank you so much for your patience. We apologize for the connectivity we had on the last program. We're trying this again. So who we have on the program with us tonight is activist and researcher Kwame. And our brother specializes in the various people, customs, and traditions of the motherland. And tonight he's going to share with us his journey and tell us how he got to where he is today, and also to talk about the importance of us getting in touch with our culture and why it's important also for us to be raised in our culture and for us to return to our culture. So, Brother Kwame, if you would please, we're going to start it from the top. You could begin again with your journey and talk about the various cultures and how you got to where you are today.
Okay. Now, turning into the age of 17, that's how the journey began. It started because, so how can I get in touch with my heritage? First of all, because of my love, and I wanted my people in the diaspora to know who they are, I began with the diasporan history, trying to know about black people in America, their history. At some point, once I keep researching, I came to the diasporan African people in the Caribbean, also in the Central America and South America. And one thing I found interesting is that comparing their culture to mine, there's similarities. From there, I like, why not I also tap into the motherland so that I can use the motherland's researching, the research I've been doing about the motherland. Why don't I keep researching deeply so that I can educate people in the diaspora here about their heritage? So that's how it all began.
Okay, and also, share with us, what you notice as it relates to the difference between those of us who are raised in America and those who were raised in Okebalan, because you had left here when you was roughly around 6 years old, and you went back to El Kebalan in Accra, Ghana, to stay with your family members there. So,
Mhm.
talk with us about the cultural difference and the traditional differences that you notice between those of us who were raised there and in the motherland.
Going back to Ghana at the age between 5 and 6, it was very tough. I can say I had the mindset or the way of the American people. I was Americanized. So when I came to the motherland, it was hard for me to adapt into their culture. So it took some time that I was able to get in touch with my family, people in the Nakaboline, and then even though I had American behavior or that American form of culture, while staying in the motherland, it took some time, and then I began to adapt into the culture there in Akabulan. So that changed my mindset. It made me realize that I'm in a place where this is where my roots come from. So I became used to it. At some point too, the language became very easy because my auntie will never speak a European language with me. My auntie will always make sure he she will speak the what you call motherland language with me. So that's how it all began.
So, my brother,
Yeah.
I also recognize from the story that you had told me prior to you and I coming on online today that um, you weren't actually raised, following after, your spirituality over in the motherland. Talk
Yes,
to us how you embarked upon your journey to follow after your spirituality because your family being Christian.
exactly. Now, as a child, you are being exposed to an image of a Roman saint. You have the idea that this European man is the one who's going to help you. As a child, being Europeanized, even though you believe that you were brought up with your culture, but at some part, you know that an African with a European mentality. So you've been exposed to all these things, and you ask yourself, why images of European saints and not mine? So that's a way I can say inferiority complex. You are being exposed to white supremacy at this age. So as a kid, when you see a European, we think that we have seen a God. So we had all this mentality. As a kid, we think like a kid. We will say, oh, what is the color of God? And then all of us will think a European's man's skin color. So when I came here and I start educating myself, start enlightening myself, I came to realize that this was a form to oppress us. We have to emancipate our mind from mental slavery. So that's how I began the journey. But the person who inspired me most is John Henry Clark. Is the one who inspired me the most. Now, before starting this journey, I used to be a Muslim as well before I even started this journey. So you have been to several religions to see how it's like. So yeah.
Okay, now I know that had to be quite challenging for you, man, to have to, deal with, that situation, because I know that, you had to actually hide,
Exactly.
and actually you're in hiding right now.
I'm still, we keep pushing. That's what it is. 3 years from now, it's tough.
So I noticed that you went through a lot of opposition, man,
Yeah.
even to the point where your Facebook account
Was
was even shut down because,
same thing.
you were reported.
Because I was exposing white supremacy. So, you know, so when you speak the truth, you have enemies. So that's what it is. My own people don't want to hear the truth. So what do they have to do? They have to make sure they take it down. So that's what it is. Trying to stop me from opening people's eyes. But the funny part is, some people message me and said, "Brother, you are inspiration to me." And apart from that, my saying is humility before honor. So I'm blessed that at least a youth or an elder person who's older than me, even people who are 40, 50 can look up to me as somebody who is inspirational. So I count that as, an honor.
So my brother, how did that make you feel, man, when your own people, had become your enemy? What went through your mind, man? Talk to us about that experience.
Oh, you feel rejection, depression, because you are teaching your people the truth, and then people are fighting. Instead of them to listen to your message, they rather are fighting you because their mind have been poisonous or indoctrination or brainwash. Exactly, that's the right word to use. People mind have been poisoned with white supremacy. So if it was a European man, they won't get offended because I am their brother and I'm telling them the truth. I become their devil. So you feel depressed, anxiety, you feel rejected. So at some part, I came to realize that this is part of it. So let me put that aside and focus and move forward. Because if I'm going to depend on rejection and people insults and false witness that they are bearing, then I'm going to waste my time on people. It's like using stone to chase barking dogs. So I should leave them and let them do whatever they want, and let me keep preaching the message so that those who have ears can listen. So that was my motivation. That kept me going.
Now, being that you were brought up in a Christian, family,
Exactly.
you
Very,
know,
very, very.
talk to us about that battle, because you were raised that way. So, did you have an encounter with the ancestors? Did you have some type of divine interface, with the gods? What occurred that had sparked you to be more curious about, the spiritual side? Because obviously, you was raised up speaking your language, your
Yeah.
family speaks the language, but the
Hmm.
problem that you simply had really was the absence of your actual spiritual system. So,
Exactly.
you know, talk to us about that, man. Like, how was that journey? I mean, you came, you know, you was raised that way. You know, talk to us about the struggle and you know what you went through to get to where you are today.
First of all, trying to they see first of all, once you stay away from a European or an Arab man's religion, you become a devil. As a child, I'm being demonized that my culture is no good, it's satanic, being exposed to such lies, and it makes me believe that what the people of the West, the European, are doing, that one is good, their own is the best. So as a child, inferiority complex. Whenever I see my tradition, because of my ignorance and the way I was brought, I condemn it. I'll see, oh, these people, they are devil worshippers. It's ignorancy. I don't understand it. I don't understand our culture. So it took time. And one thing that motivates me the most is that I feel inside of me. He said, Africa is where you belong. That's your roots. Look for your roots. It hit me harder. Some parts I didn't pay much attention, but I listened to the documentary I watched was about the diaspora, taking the African people from, doing slave trade, people being beaten, people being stripped out, people speaking their language, embracing their culture, and people are being attacked. People were even killed for even practicing their tradition. And I looked at it and I said to myself, if these people were able to stand for the truth, what, why can I? What about me? I can also do it. I can also stand for the truth. They can do whatever they want, but I should keep moving forward. So that awakened me, and then I started. What I did is that I started researching deep, and then I started with my lineage. My lineage also was a form of inspiration. That's how I came to embrace diversity in Africa. So my lineage also plays another big role as well.
Now, also you had came in contact with some, if I'm not mistaken, some priests over there, right? It wasn't, is it in Ifa, or you know who did you come in contact with to help you? Because I know one time we had a conversation, you was on that path and what have you. You know what I'm saying? So, was there other brothers and sisters that also contributed to your spiritual growth to help you to evolve? And if so, what information did they share with you to help your conscious evolve? Like, was it a book you read? Did you hear it on social media, a radio program, television? How did this come about?
When you say Ifa, I've been hearing the name Ifa Ifa. I wanted to know what is Ifa. One thing I came across was diaspora, Cuba, America, all these Latin American countries. I'm like, what is Ifa? When I went deep, the funny thing is that its origin begins in Nigeria. So I'm like, so this has something to do with the people of Nigeria, and that connects them to their lineage. So why don't I also start with mine? So when I connect with the elders, some people like, oh, maybe Oshun, Shango, something like that would be good for you. And I sit down like, ah, let me connect with my own form of spirituality. So that's how I began. Apart from that too, some elders were trying to put fear into me, criticism. A Jewish brother of mine called me a fallen angel, all kinds sort of names, so that I can feel the pain, all those stuff. So at some point, a sister from Jamaica told me, brother, you're on the right path. That is your mission. Keep focusing. The Jamaican sister make me understand that I'm not alone. She made me feel that whatever I'm doing, there are some people also my age who have been standing from the truth, but they are being rejected. So I should keep moving forward. So that helped me to tap into my tradition, spirituality, and learn much about stuff I never knew back then when I was in the motherland. So that's very amazing. I can see the diaspora also have contributed a lot. It has opened my eyes and let me understand that my culture being demonized, that's not what it is. It is just some people who want to feel superior, to oppress my people, who rather condemn my own so that they can look superior. So I came to understand that is the root cause of it.
So now I do recall in the conversation earlier, you said that the elders within
Hmm.
our culture over there are the ones that actually pass down the tradition You know,
Exactly.
to the younger generation. Is that correct?
Exactly. Orally, my ancestors, my great grandmother, every generation, a history or a story, let's say a folk tale is being passed many generations ago. Now, modernization, if you ask your heritage or history, they hide it away from you. They will tell you that it's of the past, try to keep you ignorant. But in every generation, history is being told orally. It is up to you. It's your responsibility to try to find much about your lineage. And I took that responsibility. My auntie was somebody who doesn't want me to know about my lineage, trying to hide from me, trying to put fear into me. But at some point, I learned how to master fear. Now I can tell you, brother, I belong to ethnic groups which are people who are strong people. I have my lineage with the Akan people, the Anglo Ewe people, the Mampusi people. Now my Akan side includes Asante, Enzima, Bono, Kwewu, Dinchra. That is my Akan lineage. I also have Asante blood in me, the Ashanti people. I have Ashanti lineage. So combine all this together. Talking about Akan, we have subgroups. So at least belonging to 5 of the Akan subgroup, and also belonging to an ethnic group which is not what you call an Akan, which is Anglo Ewe, and the other side from northern Ghana, which is Mampusi. History makes me understand that my ancestors were intermarried with other tribes. That was a way that they were connecting and building families. So I learned how to appreciate these mixtures, and these mixtures have helped me to bring other tribes together. I've embraced diversity. I tell you that no matter your ethnic group, you are one people. So that's how all this unity agenda began. Using my lineage as an example to show people the beauty of our diversity.
Now you just did a video about tribalism over in the motherland, man. Talk to us about that and how it is affecting our people over there becoming one.
Now, if you say tribalism, it's a way that another ethnic group feels that they are better or superior. This includes looking down on somebody's culture, distorting of history, fabricating history, something which never happened. You want to claim credit for it. Somebody's history too, you want to discredit the person and claim credit for it. And all these issues relate back to colonialism, dividing people, the Berlin Conference, dividing the map, creating confusion, creating enemies among ourselves. Now, today, this modern day, we have become our own enemies just because they all relate to one issue, which is the Berlin Conference. The European, the Portuguese, the French make sure that the map, they wanted to divide the African map. And their main mission was to store gold, to colonize us with a religion, to make us not resist back. The reason why some of our people were afraid to resist back is religion. If you resist back, the Creator will punish you. If you resist back, you're going to go to fire. So using this as a fear to keep Africans in bondage, coming to our land to bring us religion, which we never called for. You also gave yourself title that you were a so-called priest. You came to our land, used religion, a book, Quran, and the rest as a tool to oppress our people. Then took our resources, and most of our resources today, if you go to Queen Elizabeth's temple, my people, which is my lineage, is half Ashanti. They have our Ashanti gold there in the UK palace. The Yoruba people, they have their gold there. The Igbo, the different ethnic group in West Africa, gold, not only my ethnic group. Queen Elizabeth has it in a royal temple, but she hid it. It is because of her ancestors were known for that. Stealing people's property which doesn't belong to them. And today, we are still demanding what belongs to us back. So tribalism, its roots began with the Berlin Conference, dividing our border and creating enemies among ourselves. That's why we had traitors, people who gave up on their people and fought for the European side. Why? Traitors, creating tribalism, creating people being coward and traitors. They turn against their own people. And today, we are not wise. We are not wise enough. Today, we are creating fools among ourselves. And today, instead of we to unite as black people, as an African, we are rather fighting among ourselves. And that's the root cause right there. Modern day, we still face that problem. The Berlin Conference created all this mess.
Now, with that being said, over there, what I notice is, brother, and you can tell me if this is correct or incorrect. Some of our
Okay.
people over there, they even renounce their cultural names because they're ashamed of it. They take on Eurocentric names because of colonization. And when
Exactly.
you guys even go to school, I heard that some of you guys can't even use, some of my brothers and sisters over there can't even use their traditional names. They have to use Eurocentric name. Is that true?
That is perfectly true. Now, to take you back, it begins with slavery. Take a sample. You are from the diaspora. Your ancestry trace back to Africa. When they were taking your people from your roots, your birthplace, your where your root come from originally, when they took you, they gave you people European name. Why? To take you away from your heritage, to divide you, so you don't know your root. If you know your root, you become very powerful. They use that same tool to oppress our people back home. In schools, they make us believe that our local name is not good enough, so we have to take a Eurocentric name. If you're a Muslim too, you have to take the name of the Arab slave master. So that's a way to credit your oppressors. When somebody gives you a name or somebody gives you a tag, you first you become what? The person's property. And today we are properties of our colonizers because we are bearing the name of our colonizer. 1800, it became very, crazily. Because look, they were pushing all this stuff. They were forcing under people's throats. Nelson Mandela, back in his time, Nelson Mandela was known as Rohihyala. Now the name Rohihyala is a Xhosa name. It says troublemaker, but people take it from a wrong perspective. It means somebody who is a troublemaker. In that perspective, means somebody who's tough. You cannot, deceive the person. The person is smart. So that's the term troublemaker. And the Europeans said, "Oh, this name is demonic. This name is barbaric." So they gave him the name Nelson. You have our grandmothers going to school, changing their name from Efia to Joanna, giving them Eurocentric name so that they can praise their European colonizers. So when they see their European colonizers, it's like they're seeing the creator. It's like European colonizers have turned a messiah to them. That's why today, when you go to some parts of the motherland, I won't say some parts of the motherland in general, you see them bowing down to a European. Why? It shows that indeed the colonizers using a language, a name, and today we are in that mess today. We denounce our identity. We throw our name away and go for a European man's name. I'm not ashamed to say this. I was born with a European man's name. The name Reggie is a name of a European man. My original name is the name I'm using on Facebook. To restore back my pride, I had to let go of this name. Even though I don't have it legally changed, but I'm planning that in the future I'll be able to take off this European name off my document and replace my original African name there, because that is my original name. That is my birth name, and I need to restore the pride back. Today, when a sad part is, it has to do with Anglican and Catholic. They are the one who started this. White supremacy has their root there. As a child, they give you images of white saints. They tell you that your saints, your warriors, don't honor them. But if you open their religious book, it says give honor to who honor is due. So why are you teaching me to disrespect my heroes or saints and you want me to honor your Saint Matthew and Saint Peter? Logically, it doesn't make sense. Giving attribute to somebody's foreign saint and not mine. So that's the root of white supremacy. Make your own look stupid and make his own look holy, or make his own look better than your own. And that's the problem right there.
No, brother, I totally agree with that. And well, what I recognize too is we've been brainwashed to demonize ancestor worship, to honor our ancestors. And I recognize that a lot of our brothers and our sisters, and including it, you know, will someday, and not even recognizing that you'll celebrate a European fallen veteran that never died for you, didn't do anything for you, but you won't even acknowledge your ancestors that shed their blood for you to have the freedoms that you have today.
Exactly.
And this is the reason why it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, and it's sad, man, because we don't recognize that, you know, we but you, man, we have to be set free from that. That's the reason why I changed my name. It's a sense of ownership.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to our brothers and our sisters waking up and understanding that it's just like when you see Cadillac or you see Mercedes-Benz and etc. When you see that branding, you know that it belongs to that company.
Exactly, it belongs to that company. Your name.
So talk to us, man. The floor is yours.
Who you are.
Good.
Your name identify who you are. Now, this is the problem here. It started with Christianity, Islam, Judaism. These three Abrahamic religions, they know they are part of its supremacy. Some of them have realized it's ignorancy and arrogancy. They don't want to learn, and that's why some of them are lazy. Told them to research to know about some stuff. Because of their arrogance and lazy, they don't want to know about anything. Let me tell you, brother, they condemn our tradition, but they forget that the Jewish people practice what we are practicing in our motherland. The Jewish people practice over there, but their pastor hides away from them. Last time I challenged a pastor, I told him to open his Bible and read, and told me that the tradition you are condemning in your land, the Jewish people also are practicing the same thing. So why is it that because it's African you condemn it, but when it's Israel you say it's good, it's holy? You condemn your land own, but somebody's land you say is good, it's perfect. That's inferiority complex, and that's a way to show how, let's say, excuse my language, how foolish you are. That's how some people are behaving. You understand?
No, it's okay. Giving credit to somebody, man. Truth to power. Go ahead, talk about it.
Giving credit to somebody who never shed their blood, giving credit to somebody who never care about you. I mean, we were being exposed to this religion during the slave ship. If so, if that person came to help black people, why is it that slavery, why he didn't help us? Why is it that we were oppressed with that religion, that book? And the priests were raping our women. I have evidence. Go to the dungeon. Why is it that the saints that they are saying, why doesn't the saints help we, the African people? Our ancestors were crying, praying to the saints. What did the saints do? Some of our ancestors came to understand that this thing is garbage, put in the trash. Let us connect with our divine spirituality. When they connect with the Oshun, Shango, and the rest of their own, they were filled with power. That's why when you check the Caribbeans, you check Louisiana and the rest, they were revolts. Why? Because you are restoring the African power. And when you restore the African power, then there's motivation. And then you come to understand that you descend from warriors, you descend from people who are great. So you don't give up, you fight. And that's how our people were able to conquer the oppressors in the diaspora. That's why we were able to have the Maroon Settlement. And the Maroon Settlement was for free African people who refused to be oppressed by the oppressors. Go to Brazil, you have a community of people who speak Yoruba. Go to Barbados, you have people who trace to the Igbo people. Go to Jamaica, you have a Maroon Settlement which are full of people of Akan ancestry. Go to other parts of the diaspora, you have to understand that people are from different backgrounds. And that background that they come from, those people were warriors. So when you connect with your divine spirituality, that warriors from that ethnic group comes and form a bond with you. And then you were able to defeat your oppressors. That's why the priest said that what the African did on the soil is demonic, because they are afraid. They wanted to oppress us, but we told them that we don't want it. We use our spirituality, and we were able to defeat them on the plantation. That Saint Mary or that Saint whatever could not done anything for us. That Saint watched our people being dead on the ship. People were drowned. You understand? So that's what it is.
My brother, you are so right. And a lot of them don't even pay attention to the fact that saints were human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And in Catholicism, they practice ancestor worship.
Exactly.
you
And
you know,
and
you understand, you
and
know, and then even, and I always bring this to brothers and sisters, you know, attention. You know, the biblical story about Yeshua being on the mountain. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Moshe and Elijah are his relatives because
Mm-hmm.
they were part of the 12, they were part of the 12 tribes.
Okay. And my
So
brother.
when they came to speak to him, he was
Mm-hmm.
technically speaking to his ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to deal with that, you know, and I understand why, you know, they've been brainwashed to demonize even, you know, the acknowledgement of the stars when the stars is used
Their
to
culture,
navigate.
history. That's why some of them are ignorant. They demonize everything instead of them to find out demonization. Indoctrinated. When you are indoctrinated, then emotion. You become emotional. You don't. When somebody says stuff, you become emotional. You just when it comes and then the emotional turn into excuses. That's the problem with our people. And what you quote from that book, it is all originated from our land. We had stories like that. When the European man came, the European man never understand our stories. That's why when you open some verses from the Bible and you compare it to our tradition, it originated from us. That one from the Quran too, it originated from our soil. So it's our land, Ethiopia and Egypt. That's where they got the concept from. So all these stories originated from our land. It is in English we say plagiarizing, copycatting. That's where they get the source from.
Yes, sir, my brother. You know, I love what you said. That is powerful, man, because we do have to definitely unlearn. We have to have a data dump, man. We have to get rid of the
And
lies
brother,
that we've been told. You know,
can
and I'm a former bishop, man. You know, so I know, I understand. I was raised that way from a child, man. You know what I'm saying? And I woke up when I was like 37 years old. You know,
oh,
so from the time that I was a child all the way to
mm,
37 years old, that's all I knew was, you know, Christianity. And I recognized that I only believed in what I believed in because that's what I was taught. It wasn't really because I had evidence.
same thing, brother.
It
We
was
all were
it was
taught with
only
that. We all were
because
brought up with that.
exactly.
With ignorancy, exactly. We were brought up with ignorancy. uh and that Jacob and Esau story, it originates from Kenya. People say, really? Check the Maasai people. I even did a video about it to confirm it. The story of that, I'll actually go one day. I haven't go deep into that subject. So one day, if you have me again, I'll go deep into that story.
Oh yeah, you
That
coming up again, brother. You already know.
that Jacob, it came from the Maasai. It's a Maasai tradition, and the Europeans stole it from their land. That when they steal it, they don't like to give credit. And that Moses they are talking about, when it comes to my people, the Ewe people, we call Togbi Isali. That's our version of Moses. When it comes to the Gan people, you have Nia Ikushi. Other tradition, the same thing. When it comes to the Akan people, we also have our form of Moses. So where did these people get it from? It's plagiarism. They steal from
Mm,
us. They don't want to give credit. And steal from us too. They paint all the characters European. They don't want to give
mm.
credit from. They stole it from us. So that's what it
That's
is.
right. That's right, my brother. And they don't want us to know how powerful we are because, like you said, they whitewashed everything. So if our skin pigmentation didn't mean anything, then why did they whitewash it? Why do they always give us imagery of them? And once our people understand that it's psychological, it's slavery starts in the mind. And
Mm-hmm.
if our ancestors recognized that they outnumbered them and they were more powerful than them, but the reason why they didn't recognize that because of fear, because of like you said, you know, that fear that was instilled in them that they're
Mhm.
inferior, and that, you know, the slave master and those who work for the slave master were more powerful than them because they beat them into fear from the time of a child all the way up till adulthood. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so that's the reason why Nat Turner's story is so powerful, and Toussaint Louverture and Shaka Zulu and Queen Azinga. You know what I'm saying? Because they stood up against, they was willing to lay down their life. Give me liberty or give me death. That's nothing new. That's nothing new. A lot of our ancestors said that before they jumped off the slave ships, and you know, the ones who fought in the wars so that they wouldn't be colonized. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You
Yeah.
know, and so I totally agree with you, my brother. You know, I believe that we have to get that same boldness, man. And so many
Mhm.
people are so afraid. They're so afraid that, oh, I'm gonna lose business. I hear our people say that all the time. I hear them say it all the time. Oh,
Preaching
I'm
the
gonna
truth.
lose. Oh, I'm gonna
You
lose
should
business.
on
Or,
people.
you
You
know,
shouldn't focus on this.
man,
You should speak the truth. I is me. I don't care being rejected by my family. I don't care being abandoned by people who love me the most. The truth is the truth. No matter what it is,
yes,
you can go and erase it. The truth is the truth. What it is what it is. So being timid or being a coward, it doesn't change the fact of the truth. You understand? So
that's
those,
right.
if you focus on followers, you start lying. I tell people, if you focus on followers, you start lying. Follow here your heart, and also use this thing. It is your wisdom and the bold heart you have. That is how you're going to get followers. It's not about trying to please people. If you please people, then you guess what? You're going to tell lies. So that's wrong with some people who are calling themselves as awakening. That's why I say some people are awakening cowards. Because if you are awakening, why are you afraid to speak the truth to your brothers and sisters? You
That's
understand? You
right.
can't, yeah, you just can't give yourself a label. It's like you call yourself a chief and you are afraid to take the responsibility of a chief. Then you're not a chief, you're what? A coward. Exactly. So that's what it is.
That's right, my brother. I totally agree with that. And we have to start thinking about that. You know, brothers and sisters who are scared, and even elders. We would never be where we are today if our ancestors were afraid to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they knew they were going to get bit by dogs and billy clubbed and water hosed and put in jail and lynched. They knew that they were going to lose their life. They knew there was a possibility they wasn't going to come back from the marches. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So how can we get anywhere being afraid? You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad they loved us more than money. And a lot of our brothers and sisters, they scared to lose money.
Okay.
When our
I will
ancestors
say
gave up
something.
their jobs, man, they walked off of jobs to fight for us to have liberty and freedom because they stuck together too. They knew
Mm.
that they could depend on each other. But today, you step out there and you look around behind you, and you seem like you're the only one standing when the smoke clear. Talk to us, brother.
Okay. Now you said they love us more than money. I'm going to tell you this. It's a part of our tradition. Do you know why? We love our people. If you say tribe, it means family. So if you somebody is doing something against your family member, what do you have to do? You react back. So that's why some people will make a promise. I don't care how it is. I don't care the pains. I will fight for my people. So that's how our people mind is. You want to, you want your people to be free. So that's why you have mighty men and women who stand in the gaps to liberate their people, to go ahead. Some even those who are afraid to master courage, they say, I don't care. Even if I die, they will even go and fight for the truth to liberate and free their people. So it's our tradition. We have that heart of courage. Sometimes you can find a child who's 12 years and they ask, at your young age, you want to do stuff like this. It's not that they just want to do stuff like that. It's their tradition. As the same way it is in our DNA. We have that behavior of courage. Sometimes as a young child you can stand up and speak boldly. It's part of our DNA. That's why people don't realize.
My brother, that is so true. Like our aforementioned, even about, doing libations. This is for my homie,
Mhm.
and just doing things that like dances that we do. When I look at the motherland, I know some people never been to motherland. They're doing dances that some of our people do, far as traditional dances. Some of the moves they even do, and it's divine. And we have to understand that it's not spookism. Like the divine, the spiritual realm is real. And so I know why a lot of people they doubt is because well, if this being is so real, then why did this happen to our people? Why were we enslaved? If even our ancestors' spirituality, because that could be challenged too. Well, if they didn't follow after Christianity and what they did follow, then why did they get captured? Why didn't they defeat their enemies? Where was this higher power during that time? So it's a lot of good questions that our people have.
I'll answer that question for you. Thank you for bringing it up. I'll answer that question for you. The question you brought up right now, I'll answer that one. I'll add it to the next question you asked me, so people can get to understand why all this stuff happened.
Okay, talk about it.
Okay, how did they oppress us? How did they colonize us? Step number one, they have to divide you. The other side are the coons, which we call Uncle Toms or traitors. Those traitors will come and tell lies, white lies, as I call it. Oh, the white man will help you. The white man will do this. He's going to help you. He's going to make your kingdom strong. And when you confuse your other brother, if you're not somebody who thinks, if you're not somebody who knows their tactic, what are you going to do? You're going to fall into it. So that's another way they were able to colonize us. Step number two, they present you a religion which they force on your throat. No matter how much you fight it, it's being oppressed. And at some point, sometimes when people resist, at some point, they give up. So that's how they were able to colonize us with religion. Step number three, you are being abused and being beaten to take off your real name, to embrace a European name. That's a form also they were able to colonize us. Step number 4 too, they are focused on our mineral resources, our gold, our diamond, manganese, and the rest. And if when you go to our palace, the divine stuff we have in, if you check an image last time I posted about the Edo Kingdom in Nigeria, look at what the British did. They came and they stood in the palace, they sat on it. Some even insult our chiefs. Some were throwing curse word. In the presence of our chiefs, they can throw insults, and they even threaten our chiefs. So these are also the form they were able to colonize us. Step number 5 too, they lie to what you call the people in the palace, recommending them that, hey, if you do this task for you, we're going to give you this reward. So if you're going to see you're going to give somebody money, what is the person going to think? The person will say, oh, that's good. So they were able to trick our people. What did they do? They give them fake items, and they told them to give them the original items. And that was how they were able to colonize us. Sell your brain, indoctrinate you with lies, and they get hold of you. If not all this stuff could have happened, then there's no way they colonize us. Because when you talk about kingdom, we had kingdoms. When you talk about education, we had education. We had our form of education. When you talk about traditional literature, we had it there. It's not the European man who taught us education. We had our form of education. It's not European man who taught our people to write. We also have Asian script. Go to Guinea, Asian Guinea, you have script. Go to Asian Mali, you have script. Go to Ashanti Kingdom and the rest, the Bono Kingdom, the Yoruba Kingdom, the Oyo. Go to the Dahomey Kingdom. They have scripts. How did these people came to know it? It all originated from ancient Egypt. Their Egyptians ancestors, the Ethiopian ancestors had this there. They were knowledgeable. That's why the pyramid, the European man cannot know which technology they used to build the pyramid. You think the pyramid is only in Egypt? No. We have pyramid in Tunisia. We have pyramid in Morocco, Libya, different parts. Even some part of Turkey, our people civilized there and built pyramid. Why is it that they are hiding our history away from us? They know that to tell you your real history, they will become inferior, so you look superior. They will look stupid and you become wise. So they have to distort your history. That's why it's a planned agenda. The European man, the people who were the clansmen were the Arabs. So the Arabs also took over North Africa and then enforced Islam under your throat. And then whatever your ancestors achieved in Egypt, they credit it in Morocco, in Tunisia, they credit it as theirs, which is not theirs, claiming something which doesn't belong to you. And whatever item we left back in the North Africa, they claim it as theirs. That's why they try to paint fake images of pharaohs. When you do DNA test, it confirms that the pharaohs were not Arab skin color. I read an article. They trace more than 500 years ago pharaoh to a Ugandan, royal, and it confirms that this Buganda royal is related to the pharaohs. So why are they hiding our history away from us? The Akan people also have their roots in ancient Sudan, the Kush. You can also trace an Akan ancestry back to ancient Sudan. You can also trace an Eves ancestry also to some parts of where we civilize. You can also trace people from different parts of Africa. You can trace the Yoruba and the Igbo people back to the ancient civilizers of the Asian people who civilized these areas. You can trace that DNA to link to one common ancestor. They know our history is powerful, so they want to kill our history. So part of this is to discredit you for your achievements so that they can promote their white supremacy and Arab agenda. And that's what it is now. We look down upon ourselves and we look at them as they are different people. And that's our problem today as African people and black people as general.
That's right, my brother. I totally agree with you with that. And once our people wake up and recognize that we've been taught into the mentality of us being inferior, and I love everything that you said because that's evidence. And when you know who you are, then you have no need to try to be somebody else because you recognize how great you are.
When you know who you are, you become very powerful. When you become who you are, you become like a leader, which other people look up to you. It's like this story of a lion. When a lion, if you want to know a true lion, the true lion have to show the identity. So that's the same applies to us. When you know your identity, when you know your roots, you are like a mountain which cannot be broken. So that's what it is. When you know your roots, you know where you come from. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can be in America, you can be in UK, you can be in Belgium, Germany, but still, people who will try to Germanize you or wherever where you are, they will try to whitewash you, but still you stay because you know where you're coming from and you never give up and you never disannounce your roots.
That's right. And then people need to ask themselves a question, why is it that once I become conscious and I become aware of myself, why is it that they don't want us to inform our brothers and sisters about who they really are? Why is it that they killed Fred Hampton? Why did they kill, the honorable ministers, Martin Luther King Jr. and El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X, and Marcus Garvey? Why did they kill the prophets? We have to really start paying attention to that because they don't want us to know who we are, because then once we recognize who we are, we will no longer be under their rulership. We will no longer allow them to take us over. The worst thing that we could have done, was integrated. As far as, soon as the doors open, our people ran from our own businesses and start putting money into their businesses. They were just so hungry to mingle in with them. No, respect me as a man. You don't have to live in their neighborhoods to be respected. You don't have to go shopping in stores to be accepted. You don't have to go to their schools, to be respected. And that's something that really the truth of the matter is, that's what our ancestors was fighting for, is to be treated human and to be treated with self-respect, some dignity. Not for us to shut down our doors and now we're going to spend all the money over there. Now, if it wasn't important, then why did they bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma? If us not having anything wasn't important, then why did they do it to Rosewood? Why did they go and destroy Rosewood?
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay attention to these things.
Exactly.
You know, we have to pay attention to why don't they allow our cultural historical figures to be taught in public schools? Why are we always learning about racist European people and why they put before us as heroes? We don't recognize that we're being taught to praise a slave master, a slave owner. You know, and the flag, when the flag was created during the time of slavery. You know what I'm saying? All these holidays, Memorial Day and 4th of July and Thanksgiving, all these things have something to do with them and nothing to do with us.
Exactly. So I'm going to talk about that. The reason why they killed Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the rest of the conscious leader is that, one, when you are raising awareness, what are you doing? You are forming soldiers. When you are no more, those soldiers are going to stand in the gaps to liberate your people. So the reason why they killed Martin Luther King is not just because Martin Luther King wanted white people and black people wanted to be equal. They killed Martin Luther King because the color of his skin. That's first of all. They saw Martin Luther King as a devil. They don't want the guy to achieve his mission. The white people didn't care whether he belongs to a religion. That was not. The white person doesn't care about your religion. So far as you are a dark-skinned person, if you see you as a devil, you are a devil completely. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter whether you follow their religion and you are equal. They don't play we are equal among God. They don't play that ideology. They'll get rid of you. So to have all these leaders, they are creating armies. So when you are creating armies, it's like you have army and somebody will go and tell somebody that, listen, these people are creating armies. What are we going to do? They are finding a solution to resist from you. You are creating armies. So what are they doing? They want to stop you. So they're going to also come to their people and alert them. And this white supremacy will come. So they will come to attack you. They want to make sure that you guys and them will never unite. They want to make sure that history will prove that you were under them and you have never achieved anything. So this is the reason why they did. They don't want to tell you that they were leaders who rise up, but they are lying back. History cannot be erased. So they killed Martin Luther King. They killed Malcolm X. They killed Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, one point of correction is that he took it from the Islamic perspective, but also I applaud him because he was awakening our people. He make understand that these people, the devil that we are referring to, the devil in their religious book are the devil. They are the devil. They are the devil. They don't want to accept it. When it comes to the biblical and the Quranic devil version, they refer we as the devil, we black people as the devil. But if you talk about the devil, they are the one who are the devil. If you're not a devil, you will never wish a downfall for your brother. If you're not a devil, you will not kill somebody. If you're not a devil, you will not act so heartless and wicked. So the biblical and Quranic devil that they are referring to, it refers to the Europeans. And they are the one who started genocide on Asayo. They are the one who started spreading lies. The robbers of whatever we have. You are being taught slavery in school because they want to keep you in slavery. They want you to believe that you are still a slave in America. That's why they teach you slavery history. Why don't them teach you about Harriet Tubman? They should teach you about your heroes. They should teach you that, yes, the slavery existed, but our people were able to stand out. They were mighty men and women who also fought for your freedom. They don't teach you in school. How many African-American heroes do we have? I won't say African-Americans. I'll say Africans in America. That would be a right word to use. How many of them? There are more than 40. Started from the motherland up to America. They don't tell you the truth. In America, there were a group of Maroons. What's his name? Nat Turner. He's not the only person who fought. Nat Turner didn't care about European man's religion. Nat Turner, let me tell you something about Nat Turner. Nat Turner, they hide this away from you. But Nat Turner comes from an ethnic group known as Akwamu. And that ethnic group, if you talk about them, they are warriors. So I can say Nat Turner also got that from them. Nat Turner didn't care whether he was a preacher. Nat Turner cared about liberating his people. That's why Nat Turner put the European man's book away, that fairy tales away, and then went ahead and attacked the oppressor and fought the oppressor. The oppressor used that religion to say that forgive and forget because he wants to control you. The oppressor tell you that, the oppressor also quote from that biblical book and tell you that the Bible has given them instruction to hold you as a slave. That's the reason why they were using biblical verses. You understand? They use it to oppress you. When they finished Council of Nicaea, it all started there. The painting of saints, making all biblical characters look European. It begins there. Council of Nicaea, the Catholic bishop, all the slavery agenda was started by the Catholic and the Anglican before other denominations of that so-called religion began also. When you resist and revolt for your freedom, they say you are a devil, you are being demon possessed. That's what they tell you. But my brother and sister, listen, we are going to take back what belongs to us. There's a verse in their so-called religious book. It says, violence, do what? Take it by force. You cannot keep us silent. No matter how much you kill no matter how many people they plan to kill us, there will be another generation of me. There will be another generation of Amari. So we don't die. In Africa, we say we don't die. What do? We come back again. There will be another you, another form of you who fulfill what you were not able to fulfill. And that's what they were afraid. They thought that Canaanites, when we revolt Canaanites, they thought it would be the end. But they forgot that those slaves that they were killing, there's another descendant of them who comes in a warrior form. And they will never shut up. They'll continue to fight and continue to make sure that their people are freed. That's where you go. That's what it is right there.
And we also have to pay attention that if culture doesn't matter so much, then why do they strip us of our names, of our culture? If it didn't matter, and this is what we have to bring to our brothers and sisters' attention, family, those who are conscious. We have to help them to understand this. Exactly. That if these things weren't important, then why were they taken away? Why was it taken away?
Why was it taken away? First, as I said,
why would we cut off from our culture if it doesn't matter? So it's obvious it matters. Anything that they take away from you, meaning is beneficial to you.
Exactly.
Because whatsoever is beneficial to you, they will never give to you. Everything that they give you is to enslave you mentally. Everything. Everything. And once you wake up and you rebel, why do they fight you? Because they don't want you to liberate your people. They don't want you to be self-sufficient. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to continue to depend upon them so that they can continue to fill their pockets. That's all they care. It's about money. Slavery was about money. Exactly. That's what the Civil War was about. Some of you been lied to and being told, oh, they fought to help to keep us free. No, they were upset that the South was making more money than them.
They want to benefit from your suffering. That's why they say go to world wars. That was the agenda. America agenda, racial profiling. They don't like
the South became too powerful. That's why they fought.
There's a saying that some people, they don't live to enjoy their the suffer of their labor, right? So they want to enjoy the labor that you are doing in America. They want to enjoy it so that you will not enjoy your labor. They want to enjoy the good fruits. It's like you have not done anything to get something, but yet you want it so bad. You have not worked hard for it, but you want it, and that's what is with these European people. They want to enjoy our suffering so that we will keep quiet and remain timid. But that time is over. This time people are beginning to getting deep into their culture and history. When we tap into our history, we become knowledgeable. That's why history is a very powerful tool. Being oppressed, one part of it is that they strip you from your culture because your culture is very powerful. When you tap into your culture, you become knowledgeable. Somebody who knows that the knowledge of their self, nobody can challenge them. When you know the knowledge of yourself, you become very powerful. So they have to stop you from this. So they strip you from your culture. As I said, name is identity. Name carries a power. A name can have positive and negative influence. When I give the name like Amari, when I translate it to some African language, I don't know what it means. It means a king. Their name Amari. If you translate to some African language, it means a king. Why? You don't just have the name Amari just like that. Do you know what the name you're having means? It means you're standing here, you're a king. You are a king. And your mission on earth is to, let's say, for example, to show the world, to make it manifest that you're a king. Like the name I pick, Okatechi, I have to make it manifest that indeed I'm a warrior. So name, that's what the name is. So to not make it manifest, the European man have to throw that name away and give you his name, his or her name, so you can have it. That's why you have Spanish name, Portuguese name, English name, French name, Dutch name, all of it. And all this name also, most of it has it means nothing. Some of them, when you translate, it said a carpenter. Does it mean that I'm going to start being a manifestation of somebody who's going to do carpentry? You know, their names, logically, their names, it doesn't make sense. If you go deep into Yoruba name, Akan name, many African name, Maasai name, Kokomba name, Kusasi, Gan name, whatever name it is, when you translate or find the meaning, it tells you your mission already. So you have names like, what name can I use, for example? Bedi Ahine. Your mission is to come. Your mission is to come. Let's say, for example, royalty. You're supposed to show that royalty. You have to show that manifestation that you're a royal. You understand? So name is not just a name. These Europeans know how powerful our name is, so they have to strip you away from your name. And most of our people were royals with royal name. So to make them a slave, they have to make them a slave. They have to take their royal name away from them and make them as a slave. Some came from kingdoms such as the Akan kingdom, which they were from royal family. Some Kikongo, some different ethnic group. Some what you call Susu ethnic group. Some Fulani, which they have royal names. Why did they strip off the royal names? Why? Because to make you a slave, to make you my property, I have to take away what belongs to you, so that I can have fully control over you. And that's what the European man did when he colonized us.
That's right, my brother. And we have to start looking at them for who they actually are. You know, we have to understand that they stole, this land. And and that's something that us as a people need to recognize, the heinous crimes that they've committed. And once we recognize that, then we'll understand that these are not people who we need to be looking up to. I mean, these are people who raped your ancestors, stole their land, and these people are obviously mentally ill. The racists I'm talking about, the ones that's racist. I'm not talking about the ones that fight for what's right, you know what I'm saying, and stand up for what's right. I'm talking about those who are racist. It's obvious these people are mentally ill because they call this their country. I mean, last time I checked, when somebody stole something, just because it's in their possession doesn't mean that it belongs to them.
What doesn't
they
belong
illegally took it. You know what I'm saying? They stole it. So it's not yours. This country doesn't belong to you. And then you telling somebody to go back home, and you know what I'm saying, you from Ireland, your people from Germany, they're from Switzerland or Italy, but you telling us to go back home. I mean, these people are insane, man. They're mentally
racist, devilish people. Exactly. So you see what he is. They can also trace their lineage. They are telling you to go back to Africa. Why don't them also go back to their land? I mean, to go back many years ago, even America itself, even the Native Americans that are saying that are Native Americans, they even came to even make the land. Anyway, who were the people in the land already? You have to understand that world history belongs to our people. When you talk about world history, it's not about being racist. That's fact. If you check, that's why you can go to some area and do some trace. If you go to some parts of South America, you have statue with Bantu knots. Where did this Bantu knot come from? It shows you evidence that these people were there. They civilized there in the ancient time, long time ago, before the colonizer even started colonization. Ancient America was me and you, my brother. We are the one who civilized there. Ancient Europe, southwestern Europe part, the people known as the Moors, which they claim to be Moors over there, the Kenites and the rest. It's me and you who civilized there. Asia, where did they get some of the Asian culture is similar to ours? How did they get it? We were there. They learned from us. Let me tell you, they told you that black skin color is a curse. They said we Africans are cursed, but yet they benefited most from our blessings. That's why they don't want to accept it. When you say this truth that we are the one who civilized there, they call us racist. But that's historical evidence and historical fact. They don't want to give you credit. Mexico that they are saying, If you go to some places and trace the statues back many years ago, the statue look like me and you. Where did they get this from? If in Asia, there's a statue who has a Senegalese twist, where did they get this statue from? It is the people, the African people who civilized there. So why are they not also giving us credit for our contribution, but rather stealing from us? To make you look inferior, to tell you that you are, to use racial slur like you are a monkey, chimpanzee, to use racial words so that you can look down upon your skin color. But my brothers and sisters, we shouldn't look down upon ourselves. We shouldn't, and this causes bleaching. When they tell you you look ugly, you look like a monkey, and then self-hatred, what do? You bleach. So that's what it is now. That's how our women start bleaching. African American women bleaching. African women in the bleaching. Jamaican women, beautiful Jamaican black woman bleaching. Our women are beautiful, but when you bleach, what are you doing? You are killing the melanin. You are poisoning the melanin, the natural skin color. And the funny part is that when you bleach too, and your skin color comes back again, it looks dark, and it rather makes you look ugly. Why do you kill your original look and go for an artificial look just to please a person who's oppressing you? That's why in the slavery era, they gave light-skinned people and people who were European looking higher rank than people who were dark-skinned. And that's the cause right there. And I can tell you that is the reason why they rape our women in the dungeon to create light-skinned baby. Why? To fulfill their white supremacy agenda. They rape our women to kill our genes. But they forget that the more they mess with our genes, the more our genes become stronger. That's why some light skin, they have really dark skin. You don't understand. They can't kill our gene. It's natural.
That's right, my brother. That is definitely right. And we have to rebel. You know, we have to stop selling out. You know, we have to put our people.
And those people, we have to educate them first. We have to, they are being indoctrinated. So we have to,
let me just share this because I have to get this out. Even with the dark and lovely boxes, you know what I'm saying? The dark and lovely, you know, when you deal with that product, that's not El Kebalan owned, but yet our people faces on that box. You see what I'm saying? So, but we compromise, but yet they're using our faces that they're telling us not to use, but they're using for them to you know, make money and for them to have millions of dollars and thousands of dollars off of them. What we have to stop doing is we have to stop compromising. We on them and allowing them to dictate to us, you know what I'm saying, how we run our business. Oh, don't put a Kebalan face on there because your business won't do well. See, we have to be willing to go through the struggle, man. And I'm gonna just say it the way it is. A lot of our people have to get broken out of being weak. You know what I'm saying? And we want to get there so quick. We want money. You want money so much that you're willing to even compromise what you look like, the way you dress, you know what I'm saying, and who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to sell out, you know what I'm saying, so you can be brought in. And we have to get set free from that, man. We got to stop selling out so we can be brought in. Go ahead, my brother. And this will be the closing remark. We're getting ready to shut down, so I want you to tell the people how they could contact you on your social media outlets after you make your last statement here. So we can cut this short. We'll bring you back on again. We can do another part to it so you can finish up. We've been on here for a very lengthy time.
Okay. So all this stuff, it has to begin with educating them, emancipating their mind from mental slavery, killing that ignorance here. First, we have to educate them, to let them know what they are doing. This is this. But one thing is that they hate you so much, so the dark and love, they put you there. Why did they do that? Whenever they don't use a person who's a melanated person, when they don't use a black person, it doesn't work. Why? Now the army wants more black people there. Why? Because they know that without their country, they can't achieve anything. So that's why in the olden days, they were forcing our ancestors to fight for a country who doesn't give a damn about them, doesn't care about them, to fight for a country who doesn't recognize them as human beings. And yet, fighting for that too. They claim credit. They are killing us, and they also want us to fight for their independence. You see how wicked they are. And second one too, they introduce you bleaching cream started from Britain. They told you that it is for advertisement. It is not for advertisement. They used it to brainwash the Asians, and the Asians also think it's cool. Now, because the Asians accept it, now because we are dark skinned, they hate us so much. They also came to us and they sell us bleaching cream. And our women also use it. When you look so light, people think it's beautiful. And then there you go. That's how our women will start bleaching. And then our women came to hate who they are. Some will even make a promise that I'll never marry a black person. Why? They say I'll marry my colonizer. Why do they say this? Self-hatred, indoctrination. It all falls under this category. So that's how it is. That's why our black women love colonizers. That's why our black men also love colonizers' women. Why? Because what they are being brought up with, self-hatred. They don't love their women, they don't love their men. They turn their back. And this is the reason why black business are not growing. They are not supporting their brothers and sisters. Look at the Jewish people. The Jewish people are helping each other. Look at the Asians, they are together. But we black people, we are not helping ourselves. We are not coming together to support each other. We are rather contributing what we got to the oppressor's one. And what shows you that contributing to the oppressor, what shows that the oppressor cannot oppress you? The oppressor cannot oppress you because you are giving the oppressor some rights and also some white privilege. And that's the cause of the problem we are in right now as black people.